We will be hearing from Dr. Tretip Kamolsiri, talking about CU Radio fostering music education through radio broadcasting. Dr. Tretip is a graduate in piano performance from Chulalongkorn University, and she's also received a full scholarship and teaching assistant from West Virginia University for her master degree and also doctoral degree from the West Virginia University. And now she's hosts a classical music radio program, Tretip, for the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts, Chulalongkorn University, which actually hosts every Sunday morning at 7:30. So Chulalongkorn University radio stations is 101, if you have any chance, 101.5, if you have any chance to turn on the radio or digital one also. And she also writes for Bangkok Post and other publications as well. And thank you, and we are very warm welcome to PGIM and International Symposium today. Thank you, Ka.
Thank you very much, Ka. Ajahn Anothai. Good afternoon, teachers, students, professors from around the world. I'm so deeply exciting and very happy, very glad to be here with you today. And it is my great honor to sharing with you, every one of you today, the story of my work and thoughts on CU Radio fostering music education through radio broadcasting. I truly appreciate a kind and thoughtful gesture from Ajahn Anothai, who we met weeks ago in a music event at the residence of Ambassador of the Netherlands. So she proposed if I could talk a little bit, possibly, about the radio program that I'm hosting. And this is the 13 years that I'm doing this work. Then the final idea falls on how music education in Thailand has been fostered through radio broadcasting, how important of the accessibility and sustainability of the radio program help to enhance and to educate the listeners, and how women play the role in classical music radio program, especially in CU Radio, Chulalongkorn University radio station. Let's start a brief overview, a little bit of the CU Radio program, CU Radio station. Actually, the radio station started as a small student experimental project at Chulalongkorn University at the Faculty of Engineering, 1958. And Chulalongkorn University radio station began its official broadcasting in November 1965. In fact, the station will be celebrating its 60th anniversary in 2025, about 2 years from now. Since then, CU radio station has been providing and offering countless education, knowledge, and entertainment programs relating to almost all major disciplines, which enrich and nurture our audience and listeners. So far, nearly 100 radio programs have been broadcasting every week, daily, running from 6 a.m. to midnight. Each program has been designed to suit increasingly volatility and complexity in social, economics, and political dynamics worldwide. Number of professors from different faculty at Chulalongkorn University enrich the programs, which benefits the audience through their shares, expertise, skills, and knowledge. The radio station is also considered as an important medium where news updates and research findings are presented based on different perspectives. From business, economics to politics and social studies, from medicine, science, technology, innovations to environmental protection, from health and wellness to education and entertainment for the youth. The radio station program roster would not reach its goal without subjects on art, music, and culture. So let's see. My next slide here. And in 1992, it received Outstanding Radio Station Media Award from the Ministry of ICT. In 2004, it received Best University in Broadcasting from Ministry of the Digital Economy and Society. And this is our platform. We could find the platform of the university radio from the website curadio.chula.ac.th. We have Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube that you can follow all the subjects, enrich your education in so many ways. The music program that's broadcasted by CU Radio program in 2023. How many of you guessed there are about 10 program here. Offer wide range of the musical styles and genre from different culture and origins. Each radio program contains its own theme with unique concept, including traditional Thai music, contemporary Thai to international pop music, Thai and international oldies from different periods, jazz, folk song, as well as Chinese repertoire. Each program offers valuable commentary background information by the host or guest speaker. CU radio station offers at least 10 music radio program. I take it here, the logo of each program. We will go into the details of each program in a minute. Most of them are scheduled to run weekdays. Few are on air during weekends or scheduled to run daily. So in any day of the week, you will be able to find the music program in CU Radio. This confirms not only the music is broadcasted as a source of entertainment, but it is also communicates to teach, and it is a source of inspiration that give thought and connections and concentration. And here are some the program variety broadcasting on CU Radio. Sukkantarao. Sukkantarao, this is It offers the audience with the world of Suntaraphorn music, which is an old-time Thai popular music around 1930s. This is weekdays in the afternoon, around 2 o'clock to 2 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The radio will be broadcasting Suntaraphorn in many versions, maybe some other some original version or some different type of interpretations นะคะ Plen Plang is hosted by the full-time official of the CU radio program คุณอภิศักดิ์ สุวรรณศักดิ์ focus more on the more modern Thai popular song from 1980s, which is very much interested by audience. Lam Nam Mai Pai. Lam Nam Mai Pai is a Chinese repertoire that hosted by Kun Jintana Thanwan Niwat, carries main theme of Chinese repertoire from many different genres and the period with her comments. ดนตรีไทยมีคุณอดุลค่า and จุฬาวาทิต This offers the traditional Thai music from historical recordings, which is very hard to find in the old days. But right now, there are some or many of them we will be able to find from sources like YouTube or applications นะคะ ลูกทุ่งเพลงเด็ด This is for the folk music of the era Music signature and good time present popular from 1950 to 1990s. And Don't Tip, which is the one that I'm hosting, I will get into this program in the last part of this session. But next, I would like to present to you the classical music program, the legendary of CU radio station. The classical music program, since its beginning in 1965, the program was actually established by the university professor อาจารย์กำธรสนิทวงศ์ณอยุธยาอาจารย์ไขแสงสุขวัฒนะอาจารย์สมัยศาสตร์สนิทวงศ์ณอยุธยา and อาจารย์ปิยพันธ์สนิทวงศ์ณอยุธยา Not many of you might have heard all of this name, but Ajahn Anotai know very well. And when we hear his name, we kind of have a goosebump, and we recall how kind and how supportive. And Ajahn Piyapan, my time, I only met Ajahn Piyapan, and Ajahn Khai Sang still doing in his late, very old age right now. All of them has contributed at the early part of the radio program in classical music program especially. At the beginning, most of the LP recording contributed to program were from their collections. And where did they get them from? They are one of the most very first generation of the musician and teacher who graduate from abroad. And then when they came back to the country, they had a lot of LP in that time. Many collection for Ajahn Piyapan. I remember when I went to his home 30 years ago. In the house, on the wall, there's a shelf that he put so many, like many hundreds of LP on that. At that time, like 30, 40 years ago, we would not find that very easily in Thailand. And the LP for classical music is even more difficult to find. And that time, the CD is not here yet, right, Ajahn Anotai? So he is one of the most very giving us so many educational the pathway. Actually, he gave the pathway for us in today นะคะ In this picture อาจารย์กำธรสนิทวงศ์อาจารย์กำธรis our most revered teacher, musician and creator. He plays cello and he taught at faculty of the music education at the beginning, and he also hosts CU radio program and started in 1965. The classical music program at CU Radio providing nightly classical music genre along with the performance of Pro Musica. The Pro Musica was one of the very foremost orchestra in Thailand. Imagine that in 58 years ago, our teachers had been doing for next generation of musicians. We owe so much for them, for the beginning part of the sustainability that helped broaden knowledge to Thai listener, Thai student, that offer them an easy accessibility to Western classical music culture. อาจารย์ปิยพันธ์สนิทวงศ์ณอยุธยา He hosts the program along with อาจารย์กำธร We call him everybody know him as อาจารย์เปีย as his nickname, who own very large collections of music score, also not only LPs and later on CDs. And he contributed his love of music and passed to many generations of his students. and his student right now achieved and in the career in music. The collection is very well passed on to his disciple and his family นะคะ His generous give his music he generously give his music collection or lend them to students in music and music lovers. And CU radio program is another one of them that he kindly give the LP, which right now some of them is kept in the library at the station. We have been thankful and grateful for what they have done for Thailand Music Society. Later on in 1968, the classical music program was in the hand of อาจารย์ชัชวาลทาสุคน and อาจารย์ประสิทธิ์ประศักดิ์หอมสนิท and อาจารย์สมโพธิ์รอดบุญ All of them are full-time officer at the station, and the next 20 years, this program is attracted by many of listeners and has become firmly established. Not only the program has gained interest from Thai listener, but it is also have been a source of cultural oasis for foreign residents. From 1990 until the present day, it has been 33 years in classical music program that produced and handled by the supreme teamwork อาจารย์สีส้ม and อาจารย์สดับพิน Not many of us has seen this picture, right? Never. This one was given to me by อาจารย์สีส้ม and she told me that the collection they were interviewed, and it was taken in the picture was taken in the library, music library at the radio station. อาจารย์สีส้ม and อาจารย์สดับพิน Both of them are perhaps Thailand's most favorite woman radio host of classical music. Would you agree with that? And more than 3 decades, the classical music program is still one of the most popular program at radio station CU Chulalongkorn University Station, which today challenged by the moving fast forward of technology disruption. Many of us when we were young as when we were like students in schools or in university, it was quite long before the arrival of Wi-Fi era. And one of the most valuable source of education and listening to classical music at that time in Thailand. This is where one of our important source. Every night we wait and we listen what the program will be. When asked about the collection of the LPs and CD at the radio station, Ajahn Sisom personally told me that some 30 years ago, the station owns quite large collection. And in her time, the music play from the CD already. So the LP has been less used. After อาจารย์ปิยพันธ์อาจารย์ชัชวาลอาจารย์กำธรอาจารย์อาจารย์สมัยศาสตร์ those time were still LP. But for อาจารย์สีส้ม and อาจารย์สดับพิน they have been using CD. Since 1990, they have been produced and directed the program for more than 3 decades. อาจารย์สดับพิน would taking care of the information on repertoire, on the performer or orchestra that will be announced and broadcast by อาจารย์สีส้ม beautiful voice. Everybody will remember how her voice is so unique. In Thailand, she's such a important person for hosting radio program in classical music. And this is the most valuable team that we have that they have inspired music education, especially Western classical music. Let's come back to the collection in the library. She told me that later on, when there was funding from station for buying CDs, there are also some organizations such as Goethe Institute Thailand, Alliance Française Bangkok, Japan Foundation, and many embassies in Thailand were generous and kindly give LP and CD to promote artists and musicians from their country. Some of those valuable given LP and CD were from national radio of that country, such as Deutsche Welle, Radio France, BBC, Radio Netherlands, and the radio from Sweden. The recordings collection has been built using the station budget. However, a generous donor kindly helped donate materials, to name a few, Ajahn Kamthorn, Ajahn Piyapan as well, Ajahn Sudha Panomyong. She kindly gave some collections to the library of the station. Also the BSO, Bangkok Symphony Orchestra, they donate some of the CD, LPs, maybe not so many LP, but most of them are CD time, to the station. And that's how the music library at the station was built. The recording collection has been built using not only station budget, but from the donor from many organizations. CU Radio Library owns, I won't tell you how many, but I would like you to guess. At the end of our session, I bring you the CD. Actually, this is the it's a hard to find item this day because it's from year 2011, and this is a limited edition of Tretip program. We make a CD recording of each episode throughout the years when the CD time is available. But right now you could re-listen anytime from the website, so we didn't make the CD anymore. So these are 2 CD that I would give out at the end of the session. In 1995, apart from producing classical music radio program, Ajahn Sisom and Ajahn Sadapin also provide monthly printed publication. Have you seen them before? In our time when we were still in university, this is one of the most important sources for music students. We are so much looking forward each month. It will come in a small booklet. And in this booklet, there will be the program that we play in each night throughout the month. And not only the program, there will be some articles to give us knowledge. There will be some writings which is written by Ajahn Sadapin, who in charge of this, and her use of languages is so beautiful. The publication called Music of the Master, offering in advance information of the works that would be played for each month on the radio program. This monthly music pamphlet or booklet has been moved to online platform until 2022, and after that there's no more publication. For myself, when I was in university life, a student of Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts in 1991, the time when cassette tape become very popular. CD classical music is still not very very affordable for students because it's quite expensive. My fond memory stays vibrantly about classical music program, and each they have the concept in each day. The Tuesday night, what would be played on the program was chamber music. There will be emphasized chamber music from different group, and explanation for Thursday night is about composer, specific composer, or if it's special date or anniversary of remembering of their date of birth, or to recall or to have a memory of each composer. The program broadcasted by CU radio station relate to classical music. Another one is คุยกับดนตรี or talk with music. Any one of you listen to อาจารย์นรุตสุทธจิต radio program นะคะ This also has been long time. The program offer documentary like and a storytelling program, as well as music listening with commentary and explanation by อาจารย์นรุตสุทธจิต from Faculty of Education. Put this away here. This slide, I forgot to put it up here. This is more present day. อาจารย์สีส้ม and อาจารย์สดับพิน last maybe before the COVID comes in, they talk about how classical music is accessible and how they sustain this program to the audience. So this is the music library. We are now moving into Tretip, which is I'm hosting for Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts, Chulalongkorn University. And it has been 13 years since Professor Dr. Natcha Panjaran from Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts initiate the idea of this program, because she said that music deals with sound, and sound is to relate things. We can make it through the broadcasting, radio broadcasting. So in November 2010, she initiated this program, and the program is produced on behalf of the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts. The first broadcasting was on January the 2nd, 2011, the next year of the initiative of her idea. And the day that the broadcasting was the same day that we remember the death anniversary of Her Royal Highness Princess Kalayaniwattana. The aim of Tretip program is to provide music education information through an interview. So it's different from the character, the unique character of each week is up, and also depends on guest speaker. We have for almost right now almost 700 episodes since the first broadcast. We also present the series of program about music of the ASEAN. We had Ajahn Anand Nakong this morning speakers. He kindly give us so many beneficial education information. And sometimes we do have pianists, we have composer, we have singers, brass player or string players, composer. Also, not only from young composer to national artist, Professor Dr. Naronglit Thamabut kindly come to be a guest speaker in our program many times. Tretip with guest musicians demonstrate in their expertise on teaching and performance. Last 5 years, we started a version of a small clip, not only stay in the studio, but we do make a video clip about 40 or 50, 30 or 40 minutes, inviting guest speaker or performers and have them demonstrate their expertise. In the slide, you will see Ajahn Ampon Kowinta, a very famous string player. She plays violin and viola. At that time, she brought her students to the program and demonstrating the Suzuki teaching method, how it works. And this little girl, this not little in the photo here, she started with the violin with the Suzuki method, and they were talking about how Suzuki method helped them growing in music. อาจารย์นัทยนตรรักษ์ศิลปินศิลปธร artist explained at that time his new composition, The Prodigal Son. He was about to take his new composition on European tour for I don't remember how many countries, but around European countries for months. So we talk about the performance that would going to be, and the piece, and how to present about all sorts of traveling with the dancing. They have the dancing group traveling with them also. We also have the group of musicians. This is a brass ensemble from Mahidol University. Especially it's a low brass, the tuba, and also we have the French horn teacher from Mahidol University. He kindly brought in many different type of French horn for us and explain how different of them. In 2018, 5 years ago, that I was talking about, that we had the video version of Tretip. In this slide, I was traveling to one of the most revered Thai musician, who also a luthier. He made all kinds of string instrument, Thai string instrument, and also other Thai instrument. He kindly, at that time, he was not feeling very well. We were still, he was not feeling well, but he kindly opened his shop and show us how to round it the three-string fiddle. And his name is Kun Kru John Sai Wiman. He's a master of traditional Thai music and well-known luthier. And he made many Thai music instruments. Also, he has a big factory. Before we visited him, he told me that he has more than 100 workers to help him build the instrument. But at that time, not so many helper. But he also passed his knowledge of making music instrument to his son. This is I was just making this image just to combine some of the guest speaker that come to Tretip and give their insight of music according to their expertise. We have the revered teacher many of them อาจารย์พึ่งจิตสวามิภักดิ์ from Faculty of Education also อาจารย์อับสรกุรมะโรหิต who is the last student of อาจารย์ประสิทธิ์ศิลปะบรรเลงอาจารย์ประสิทธิ์ศิลปะบรรเลง he was a son of หลวงประดิษฐ์ไพเราะสอนศิลปะบรรเลง and not only for the guest speaker who come to the program, we also encourage and support the young musician who has a very strong interest in music. So they come and they tell us how they learn, how they practice, and how they make time for their music and for their studies in school. I think that the aim of the Dontri Tip has always been intent to follow the great intention and footstep of Her Royal Highness Princess Kalayaniwattana of the inheritance and the classical music in Thailand. We try to bring from, it's kind of like recording of each era in music society. At this time, it's early in 21st century. So we think of the program as our kind of record the situation, music situation in Thailand. In conclusion, in Thailand Music Education Circle, we cannot deny that throughout 58 years, CU radio station is indeed has been one of the great example and valuable source of accessibility and sustainability of how to enrich, to foster, to nurture music education in Thailand. Yes, so that would be all for my part today. I hope you, yes, any question from all of you?
Any questions? Thank you very much, Dr. Tretip. I think it's just really applause to her first, possibly, and thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
A long histories, and actually, if I can maybe reflect of why I invited you to be here, because I remember the first person who actually get me think or reflect about the importance of radio was actually during the dinner with Brian Fernihau. And he mentioned something about like the composers of the piece that we have heard Michael Kano perform this morning. And he mentioned during dinner saying like how important the BBC radio was to his musical studies. And then if not because of that, I think maybe he wouldn't have a different part learning about music. So thank you for that. And then growing up not as a musician at the beginning, but hearing because of the Bangkok traffic jam. So CU radio is very important to our journey, and then that's the place that we can get to learn. Actually, maybe I keep my questions later, but
Yes.
Okay, if I can, just kind of like really bothering me because I think we were discussing a little bit. Because I can see that this kind of like the first generation music teacher in Thailand, and I can see that they're doing all these not parallel, but as part of being a music teacher in Thailand, they do a lot of radio station program. They also write a lot. And when did it all disappear in the second generation? Is that the second and the third generation felt that it's already enough, or we take it for granted, that we stop doing all these music teachers, stop doing all this kind of thing, and then here come the segment between being a performers and radio hosters, or the one who's actually educating people. So since when that these kind of divisions, and it seems like when we try to work with the young musicians, when we try to get them to actually recognize the importance of sharing, it's become so difficult. So maybe that's something.
Yes. Your question is when it
Yeah,
disappeared.
when did it disappear, and why like the second and the third generation musician weren't thinking of this importance of sharing?
I
This
think maybe
video.
because of the change of the technology way of listen to the music. People seems to be more independent and be in your own space. You talk to yourself more than talk to other people. You talk to your phone. You talk to maybe you don't know who you're talking or typing the message to. They are that we don't know where they are in different part of the world, in different country or somebody else. But around us here, the real human, I think we kind of lack of or has less inter interact together, because I think it's important as a musician. You interact with your students, you interact with your teacher or your friends in the ensemble or in the orchestra or to the conductor or even to the audience by via your playing by playing. So I think it's different. It's different now because of the technology seems to changing fast and way people conduct themselves. Yeah.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you ค่ะ Now I can microphone.
Yes, what you're saying is in the line of my question, because I see for students having to deal with preparing a radio broadcast is going deeper into the communication. As you were saying, on YouTube you communicate to yourself, even if yourself, and so it means you can't do it just like that. You have to think what exactly you want to send. So my question was, in your radio or in that project of radio, do you have links with education training students, and do you even train students to learn the principles? What is important when you want to communicate through that medium?
Yes, this is a very good question, and thank you very much for asking this. Actually, we have one episode. There's one student. She's in her master degree, and in composition, she is on her way to present her piece for graduate, and she came to present and telling us about her composition, but the lack of skills in speaking, in preparing the information. I think this space is a place also that helps the student to improve their communication, not just to play the instrument, but you have to be able to speak, to explain, to answer the question, to ask the question, and to share the idea. And so in that episode, the first recording of the program was not very good because she was not be able to put them in in her order of explanation. So I give her 1 week and send her. Actually, we have the question before each recording session, so maybe they can prepare. So she has another week to prepare, then she come back later, and that was wonderful recording and one of the very well prepared episode. Yes. So I think the space of the recording session is another way to have students or young musicians growing and practice, come to we use the proper languages we do the rolling properly in radio, and I did all the editing myself. It takes like four times than the real program. The real program is about 25 minutes. It takes me about sometime an hour to edit each episode. Yes, 700 episode. I did all my editing by myself.
Thank you, Ajahn Tretip, for like sharing these gorgeous memories about classical music in Thailand. And I myself also have been listening to CU Radio Jula Dantri Classic for like since I was in my mother's womb. So I have a question. So I've written down. So considering the rich history of classical music in its evolution through radio, could you elaborate on the specific strategies and adaptations that the Dantri Tip program employed to not only survive but thrive in the face of the challenges like the COVID pandemic and the digitalization? Yeah, and how do you envision the role of technology in further expanding the accessibility and impact of classical music through initiatives like this in the future?
Okay, first question is about the how we strive for during the pandemic. It's actually I forgot to mention about this in my talk just now. We make it online recording when the pandemic was spreading out very severe. I moved myself and my mother to Cha'am province, Phetburi province, and I was not able to. I was thinking, well, how am I going to, making all the recording session to be broadcast every week, and I learned I learned new things during the pandemic. I learned new application, new way of editing, new way of recording, everything all set up in my bedroom. Yes, because it's quiet, and I got myself a good quality of microphone, so we can have the good sounds for broadcast. Yes, and each of the guest speaker are so very nice and willing to meet. We meet on Zoom. The recording we meet on Zoom, and at first was not on Zoom. It was via line first, line call, and then we find some other ways. And sometime at first time I was the only one who went to the station, but the guest speaker stay in their home, and the office person at the radio station help us to record. And then there are so many ways that we have to adjust according to the situation that changing during I think 3 years. Yes, but now still I still keep the recording online in hand sometime. If the traveling traffic jam this come in hand always, we can meet online. So what's other question? The digital, the media disruption is another thing that everybody face in our lives. I think we just have to keep ourselves up with everything around all the time. If we lost track, then we are so much behind. Like sometimes it's very hard to keep up with what's new here. But you don't have to keep up all the time, but just keep working on every day, and just do your best and open your eye, open your ears, open your mind, accept ideas and listen to others, and say what you really think and be true to yourself, and I think that would be another way. Yeah, that's my suggestion.
And one more question from me.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm curious that do you have like any strategies to reach the younger generation to listen to radio? Because I'm still listening to radio because of my parents, yeah, and they taught me how to. I mean, there is much more like quality contents on radio as I know, and I listening to radio because they told me to, but not many households still listening to radio. So I want to know that do you have like any strategies to reach to the younger generations?
This is not easy to do though, because but I try with my student that when there are good episode of others music program, so I like share with them and have them, or sometimes I even if they don't listen live broadcasting, we send them the link of re-listen or on demand, because we have to admit that younger generation listen to the music from different paths. They listen from application, they listen from their telephone, from their mobile phone, but the radio station also have their application, so we can access. It's easy to access and it's sustained. So I think the way of listening is changing. We are not listening to the actual radio, but we listen to that radio station from mobile phone. I listen to the BBC 3. I listen to FM Classic almost every day. I listen to CU radio, not from the radio, except when I'm driving. But when I'm home, I don't listen to the music from the radio. I listen to the music. I listen to the radio from the mobile phone. Can we say that? It's getting funny.
Halfway, that's a good negotiation. So I think there are a lot more to be done and a lot more to be discussed about not the future, but the continuity of the life of the radio. And thank you for it. It's really nice to hear that you're also that you're still listening to radio. Likewise, okay. And it's always experience. And personally, I feel that it's a completely different experience when I remember looking through this Master of Music program and wait for Thursday that
Yes.
program is going to happen, and you prepare yourself to get ready to listen. Why nowadays, I think a lot of listening we just kind of put it on without actually caring what we are listening to.
And sometimes we even made a recording from the radio.
Yes.
Because we don't have CDs or that specific piece to listen, but we want to re-listen again. See, it's an era of you can listen anywhere. You can listen from which part of the piece, the long piece, you just want to listen to this phrase, or you can slow it down to really analyze what's going on there. So it's different way of listening, but I think the technology also benefits us if we use them carefully and thoughtfully. Yes.
Thank you very, very much, Ka. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, I have
they have a
two
question for that.
CD.
Yes.
Two CD. This is I'm telling you with this one. This one is the Tretip limited first edition.
What would be your questions?
It contains every episode of the first year broadcasting, and we don't produce it anymore. But I think just keep it for good, for as a gift. Yes. The question for this two CD is, I was asking Ajahn Sadapin, who hosts the classical music program, just this morning, that I would like to give something to to the listeners this afternoon, and I asked her. I would like to ask. The question is, how many that you guess that we in the CU radio station's library own CDs? How many? That's the question. The CD and LP comes from the budget of the CU radio program. Not all of them, but some donate. Some are donated from teachers, revered teacher, and some are given by RBSO Foundation.
25,000?
Pardon me?
25,000?
25,000. Who has the closest number? I will give to them. Ajahn Anotai said 25,000. 50,000 นั่นคือ50,000 50,000 is too many, way too many. It's just a small the library, the size is about maybe 4 square meters. Yeah, very very small. Very small.
5,000 from Professor Chakmo.
5,000. 10,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? 8,000. 23,000. 3,500. Okay. I think anyone else? That's 2 persons that's close.
That's it?
Yes. Ajahn Sadapin said it's around 2. Okay, let me เดี๋ยวนะ2,200 ถึง 2,500 very limited
2,200 to 2,500.
yes, not very big collection but between 20 to 2,000 ถึง 2,500
22 to 20.
yes
To 2,000,
to
2,200 to 2,500.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're looking for more CDs, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. So, and especially some of the contemporary music we are lacking. So please. Okay, so thank you.
this is for you
Thank you very much.
as a token yes
So that can be kept in office.
another person who is
ให้น้องที่ถามคำถามใช่ไหมคะท่านอาจารย์คะให้น้องที่ถามคำถามขอบคุณมากครับ
ค่ะให้เก็บเป็นที่ระลึกนะคะค่ะ
Thank you very much ค่ะอาจารย์
You're
ค่ะ
very
Very
welcome.
big applause to
Yes.
Dr. Tretip ค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ thank
ขอบ
you
คุณค่ะ And our next speakers for today, he's part of PGM now for the next 6 weeks. Professor Dieter Mark, who is actually one of the founders of this international symposium. He was there since the first year, the blue poster on the right. And Professor Dieter Mark is the composer. And he's really, he will be conducting